Welcome to NKTelco Sports here at Sidney High School, where the Wayne Warriors take on the Sidney Yellow Jackets. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Minster Bank, Schreederman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco, NKT.TV, Carriage Works, Cy Schreederman, Fowler's TV, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, PSG Automotive Outfitters, and the First National Bank. It rained a little bit here earlier on in Sidney. You see the field condition. It was torn up during the half of the JV game that finished in a 0-0 tie. Big opportunity for both these teams. Wayne already with a loss, 3-2 on Saturday, lost to Milton Union despite being up 2-0 early on. Sidney kicks off their season here in a couple of minutes as they come off a great year last year. 16-2-2 in the league is what Coach Verano in his third year is. He's got some very good players you see down there on the bench. Elaine Weisenmeyer, we're going to talk about her a lot, a young lady that is in the top echelon of scorers here in the Dayton area. And she has got a lot of work to do. They are missing a goalkeeper from a year ago. We'll talk about that and Carly Dean, but it's a Wayne team on the other side that, like I said, you can't discount experience. They've already played once. We'll see how it turns out when we get started here in just a couple of minutes on NKTelco.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Schreederman Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schreederman purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CEREC and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
Back here in Sidney as we get ready for the opening kick. The black jerseys representing Sidney and the whites representing the 0-1 Wayne Warriors. As the Yellow Jackets kick off their season, they have a lot returning, and the keys to the game will tell you all about that. Got a chance to talk to Coach earlier on. 26-8-4 in his tenure at Sidney, and he has got a lot of very good experienced players back from a team. As he talked about, one of the things he wanted to do was take a look at the Keyhole Pizza's keys to the game. He wants to score an early goal. He said every game is usually decided in the first 5 minutes or so. That allows his offense to take some extra risks and his defense to sort of try to play back a little bit and make sure there's not any early mistakes. As Sidney likes to go right after the ball. And like I said, they have a terrific duo in Elaine Weisenmeyer and Kai McMillan, a first-team GWalk selection in the North Division Athlete of the Year in Weisenmeyer. And on the other side, it's kind of a little bit of reverse for Wayne. They want to be really aggressive on offense, and the reason for that is that Sidney had to change their goalkeepers from this year. They go with Michaela Hurry, who was the JV goalkeeper a season ago when Carly Dean, who's now at IMG Academy in Florida, was the goalkeeper for Sidney. As the first throw in, it comes just a couple of seconds in. We want to control the passing lane here if you're Wayne, and the reason for that is Weisenmeyer and McMillan both ranked in the top 3 in the G-Walk last year in points and assists. Between the two of them, they put up 44 assists, and the spacing, a big part of it you've seen here early on in the first couple of seconds as Wayne shoots one down in the box across the back line for the first goal kick. But those the keys of the game brought to you by Keyhole Pizza and Sidney. This is kind of a statement for them. They want to get out on their home turf. They haven't played Wayne here in a couple of years. Kind of an odd matchup with the way that things work out in the G-Walk, but they've done well overall. Wayne has won 7 of the 11 overall meetings since '05, including 2-1. They met a couple of times in the tournaments in years that they did not meet in the regular season. So another throw in here as they get the first two up and out. That was the aggressive that I told you that Coach Kevin Ranu was talking about. That's that ball for the first time played into the quarter zone back there. And a mistake. This is what Weisenmeyer wants to do off to the right side. That ball punched away. Good defensive effort here as we'll get a throw in just inside the corner. The defense for Wayne and Hunter Hawk, the senior, able to slow things down. Katie Atwood, the sophomore, will throw it in. Like I said, just down there inside of the corner. Trust me, I can see it from here. And off the head of Weisenmeyer, as indicated by the bright green captain strap on her right arm. Tries to fight her way through traffic. A little stop and go through the middle. Didn't really have anybody up there. As the spacing, like I was talking about, one of the keys for Wayne. Control the spacing. Don't let Sidney get right through the middle lanes and set up camp. They have done a job with that. McMillan out in front of the goal. It's the big two in there for Sidney is off the back heel. The shot goes across and rolls away. That's got to probably make a couple of Wayne fans in attendance pretty nervous. That shot, the first for Sidney, kind of wide of the goal as the throw-in will come for Wayne. Armani Dortch, one of the captains and leading scorer last year. Nice long throw all the way down the pitch off to the left side. But that's the aggressiveness, or almost through that first 5 minutes we were talking about earlier on in the keys. That ball stolen away up on the back line. The shot right into the belly of the goalkeeper in Michaela Hurry. So she gets the first save. Now the ball quickly stolen right back off the boot of a couple of different Sidney players. They form that black hole with 4 players right in the middle and try to cut off Kylie Killingsworth. Killingsworth nice and aggressive as she's able to at least momentarily keep her team involved. Ball kicked back across the midline and into Wayne's half of the field. Up off the back of the head of Allie Hess. And another Sidney throw-in. They've pretty much dominated those so far as Katie Atwood seems to be the leader in that category. Nice long throw to set up Weisenmeyer off to the right side in the front half of the box. Skipped across and off the foot of a Wayne defender and in. The first goal coming at 35-24. With Sidney on the top. Is that just that quick cross right in front? And I believe, try to determine, I didn't see the number quickly. I thought it was McMillan or a second with her bright orange shoes that was able to get to that one. As we take a look at the replay, Weisenmeyer does get the assist on the play. There's the cross over to the left side and the goal from the short side. This will actually be Jada McMillan that will come on now. And the winners meets replay. Even with that look, there's 5 people looking at it. They still don't have a thought on who that was. But just that quickly, that's what I was talking about a couple of times. Probably the a little too much, but the quick cross and controlling that passing lane, the opposite of that comes true, and it's 1-0 Sydney. So the first 5 minutes has come and gone. The effectiveness about being aggressive, that's what Sydney wanted to do, and that's what they did. They were able to get out in front of a couple of a place. So another ball kicked across the line. The officials for tonight, the assistant referees, John Barrera and Colma Ramont. There's another long break, and it's not really a surprise that Weisenmeyer is leading that break out in front. On the quick help, ball kicked across the back line as Lauren Barker is cut off. So Wayne's now first goal kick. That's the first substitution on the opposite side for the ladies in white. Looks like it is Abriana Shea that's back in. So actually the second substitution. Shea back in as here comes the kick for her team, down 1-0. Ball rolls up off the foot of Emma Whitford. Whitford tried to turn and skip one up front. Another long, quick throw in for Wayne. Like I said, they lost 3-2 in their opener on Saturday. They were up 2-0 at the half on Milton Union. And then just kind of gave up a goal here, gave up a goal there, gave up the winning goal late in that contest and lost 3-2. Something they're trying to change here is a long shot up and across. Is going to roll down the line towards the corner. Not able to get in front of it is McMillan. So the throw-in will come for Wayne. Up off the head of McMillan again. She's pretty much been everywhere so far. Here's one of the two captains in Armani Dortch. Like I said, the leading scorer for her team back from a year ago. Team that went 5-12 under Coach Brad Hemphill. 2-6 in the GWalk National East after they reset that a couple of years ago. Lost Ashley Rubel, 17 goals and a first team selection. It's a big part of what you can do when you have to sort of stop and regroup. It's a ball kicked back down into the lights. You see the football stadium in the background at 30 Field. They won't be using it this Friday as the Yellow Jackets will start their trek in St. Mary's. For the last time for the foreseeable future, it'll be the Rough Riders and the Yellow Jackets starting off the season. Now waiting on the throw in, everybody kind of standing around to see where this goes. Nice quick header by Wayne, sets it back up into the middle, but it comes right back for Sydney. There's a long kick back out to midfield. You see the three black jerseys scurry out towards it. And they boot off the shin of Allie Hess. Atwood sends another long one down to set up McMillan. Jada now works from the corner, skips one across up over the head of her teammate in Weisenmeyer. Not able to get to it. There is a Warrior down. And I'll stop the clock with just a cross 31 minutes left here into the first half. And that's always a dangerous play anytime the ball is in the air like that. Olivia Whitman, one of the captains and the senior defender for Wayne, goes down. It's kind of an inadvertent thing. A lot of players trying to establish the same spot for that ball in the box. Just waiting for it is McMillan, the 5'2" freshman midfielder, who's already been a part of a ton of plays in this first half. A couple of substitutions before we get the ball reset. The officials will converge as well, saying that Claudia Ramont and John Barrera, the assistant referees. Corey Artem is the head referee. As that'll determine exactly where that ball should be spotted. And they'll give the ball after much discussion. Probably not where they can get good pizza in the area. But after the discussion, they put it back in, and Sydney immediately controls it. Weisenmeyer's near the ball. There's a good chance it's going to end up on her boot. Sends it out to the left side, and a ball knocked away It should be a throw-in. It's Hunter Hawk able to get in front of it and just kind of kick it out of the way. That was one of those big things I was going to talk about during coming out of our keys to the game today that were brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. It was it's about cleaning up trash. If you just kind of leave things out there and leave them lay, Sidney will pick them up and pick you off. They went to the district finals last year for the first time in a couple of years and fell 4-0. But they would like to get back to that point. They've got a date with Xenia next week. And the last time these two teams met here on this field, Sidney came away with a win in 2013. It's their only win in the 3 meetings here on this field. Wayne trying to change that. Sidney trying to put one in their column as they start off their 2018 campaign. And good hustle from all the way across by McMillan. Kind of able to come right back in, and her boot and Katie Atwoods have been active so far. It's playing from across the midfield stripe is Whifford. Emma now will shoot one up with the left and immediately have it intercepted, kind of leaving the ball out in no man's land. It looks like at times, if there's just the one white jersey, it makes it a little bit easier, but they being the ladies from Wayne, can close quickly. Throw in just in front of Wayne's bench on the opposite side. Usually say it looks like a bus stop. It was very much in fashion earlier on when they were using it during the JV game to try to hide during the rain. Another long throw in here for Sidney as they try to bounce one in front. Already 10 minutes gone and up 1-0. They worked hard to get that goal, and just inside the first 5 minutes at 35-24. It was a long shot. You've got to come out and play that far, and this is what you want to do if you're Wayne. You want to get the goalkeeper in Michaela Hurry, the sophomore, to come out. Try to get her to make a mistake. Maybe if she slips, or you can just put a ball up there. You want to be aggressive, but not to the point where you make a mistake. Weisenmeyer has to turn left and watch that ball zoom past her. And I believe that should be enough for a Sidney corner kick. So each team has had a couple of goal kicks already. And Sidney now with a corner kick. As it looks like that it is Kia McMillan, rather. Used to seeing that as Kia. Kia now with the long right foot, low line drive right in front of the box. The turnaround shot. That won't go for Emma Whifford, and eventually somebody was going to have to try to put a hand on that. Couple of shots on goal now for Sidney. As that was kind of a no man's land thing for Sophie Colibly. The freshman and a sophomore as the goalkeepers for Wayne. You don't know what that means essentially for right now, sitting at 0-1, but it bodes well for their future, getting two young players to get some experience. And a tightrope on the line for McMillan. Jada able to keep it ahead, sends it to Kia McMillan. Kia with a nice crossover in those bright orange shoes. Shot on goal high and across. Looked like it nipped the back of the net. Or nipped the crossbar, rather. And Sidney has been on an adventure so far. They've had 3 shots now in the last probably 3 or 4 minutes since the injury timeout. Speaking of that, Hunter Hawk, the senior defender who's going out to throw, well, it looked like she was. Sorry, there's a goal kick. Will kind of hobble off to the sideline. She's off by herself over there. A lot of pushing back and forth. Romani Dorch able to get to it.
Nobody gives me a pronunciation guide anymore, and with the names and their spellings, it's like you think one way. By the way, my name is Blindauer, it's not Blindaver, so if you send me
So PA guys have the same problems that sometimes play-by-play guys have with pronunciations. It's not a new thing. And a long attempt waiting for this throw-in. Always makes me laugh that whoever is throwing it in, it doesn't matter where the ball ends up out of bounds, they have to be the one that has to go over and get it. Nobody's even remotely willing to try to help them out about it. So a couple of throw-ins now for Kaya Vondenhoevel. Kaya will throw it in. Ball skipped across off the front of the box. Another fight on the backside and a shove from Killingsworth. Ball ends up going out, and I believe this is across the back line. Across the goal line should result in a corner kick 2 here for Sidney. They nearly scored on their first. And now Kaya McMillan will boot it from the other side. She had one. It was a low line drive. See if the offense or defense will run up on the front. Ball headed back out to the captain in Dortch. Dortch will play it out front. Nice run that she's developed here for her teammate in Pinson Shaw. Lydia now sets it back up. She wants to work from the middle out as she kicks that ball across and back into the corner. Sidney's goal coming about 15 minutes ago now. And a shot just kind of rolled into the hands of Hurry. The ball booted away. That's a terrific header. And another one across that Allie Hess will have to chase back to her own goalkeeper. Says, here, go ahead, play this one out. Up off the front of Tenley McNutt. Or excuse me, and Chastity Lyons. The 6 and the 8 from afar look the same. Sidney tried to set something back up off the right sideline. They've worked well so far of putting McMillan over there. She shoots one up in front for Weisenmayer. She'll send it back across and up in front. The terrific defense from Killingsworth. Able to really come out of nowhere and get that one as there's a foul just a couple of yards outside of the box. It'll stop at least that attack momentarily. And to the chance of you can't do that, which is always good. I'm glad they point that out. It's kind of akin to a student section when a holding is called in football. Straightaway kick up to the front of the box towards Weisenmayer and a collision. It didn't stop the play. The official marked off the front half of the goal box. And that was a big collision between Weisenmayer came through and ended up with the goalkeeper for Wayne. Both of them just kind of meeting right at the hip. Kalubi is at least momentarily okay, and she'll get another goal kick here. She's a little worse for wear, though. It's not going to be her who will take it. It'll be Olivia Whitman. We'll at least let her just regroup. See the big brace on her right knee as she puts it away. Ball takes a high, heavy bounce right up off Armani Dortch. Out to the left side in front of the opposite side bench, and that is what is at times served at Sidney well. Wayne has done a good job on their own sideline or on their own touch line. Sidney has worked a lot from in front of their own bench over here on the opposite side from where you see the ball at. Be another throw in, I think, maybe after a little bit of argument about some showmanship about maybe who had that ball. It'll go for Wayne. That's a long throw. Went right past the defensive unit. Off the left foot of Hurry. Nice little boot for her. As Sidney's got something going here, but it was stopped. That is just you're gonna go all out if you're Allie Hess on that play. You're gonna take a chance. As she gets a little bit of help from her friends in Priscilla Neves. But that's one of those ones where if you're going to go out and you're going to play that, and so it'll now go off of her shoulder. Weisenmayer off and running. She lost her footing and skips one across right off the goalkeeper. So 2 saves now for Wayne. As Weisenmayer won't get that one. Well, it's very lively here today. They had, like I said earlier, they had the rain. Thought it was going to slow things down, but it doesn't look like the way that these two are playing. Look at the fancy moves there from Kaya McMillan. Just tiptoeing on the goal line. It doesn't look like it's rained at all when you watch them move. I would have fallen down 3 or 4 times already. Another long set up across, trying to leave it in front of the defense. Morgan McElroy, I believe, just got called for offsides. So the first time that has happened. She got a good look at it. Just got a little bit too far as the lead from Pinsenshaw. Center over. It's turned into a beautiful night here in Sidney. It poured earlier on. The sky just opened up and rain came from everywhere. It's about 75 degrees and mostly cloudy right now. But it is a beautiful sky. There's a rainbow a little bit ago. As the foul on Weisenberg. We'll get called for offsides. Just a little bit too far up ahead, and it's something that happens every once in a while when you try to play as quick and aggressive. Said shut down the passing lanes. If you're Wayne, the reason why, those same two. And McMillan and Weisenberg. A lane who led the entire G-Walk in points last year with 95 to show how good the second-team All-Ohio selection was. Her lead dropped in front on the backside of the defense. Wow, that kind of rolls back around the way you wouldn't expect. So Sidney kind of inadvertently with another shot. But to tell you how good she was last year, her 95 points as the North Division Athlete of the Year in the G-Walk, 36 goals, 23 assists. The next closest person to her in the entire league in the long lead up in front. And you got to make a choice and a mistake offensively. McMillan shoots it off to the right side, but Wayne will get a goal kick. All 5 of Sidney's shots have come on goal. To finish up on a lane, her next closest was at 69, the all-time leading scorer in the history of the G-Walk. 5 away from being the all-time leading scorer at Sidney. As that has held at least the last about 15 years. It won't be long. She'll have 5 goals in probably a week or so. There's a long drop out in front to Bailey Sherman, the senior midfielder, who just checked back in off the substitution. Back out to Macy Ivy. So both teams trying to establish some position here with about 18 minutes to go. One nothing Sidney. They get that goal at the 35-24 mark. I can tell you that Elaine Weisenmeyer had the assist. See if I can get to the goal scorer at the half, and just that quickly. Again, we watched it a couple of times on the replay, which, again, today brought to you by Winners Meats, and I still didn't figure out who it was. So another throw in here. The easiest way to probably do this is to walk down into the crowd and mispronounce whoever it is and just wait for their mom to come up and say to you, my daughter had the goal. I could probably do that. Probably just yell out the window the wrong name. Somebody will make sure that I know. Another throw it. It's a big point, probably at times about a 3-1 advantage for Sidney about how much time, I don't have the exact number, that they have spent inside Wayne's zone, and especially deep inside of it, as that long clearance across to McMillan picked it up off the back line. But another save for Wayne on the quick shot on goal. Wayne's got just a couple of shots. They don't have any on goal so far. I'll tell you about the complete numbers at the half, as it seems like at least the last 3 or 4 times they've tried to make a break. They've gotten called for offsides, and that one just a little bit too long for Chastity Lions. But a lot of all league picks back for Sidney from last year. And they are playing well here early as he dropped in the backside for Megan Heckler. Heckler in the front, crosses over and picks up the goal. So Heckler now at 16:52. Just a beautiful drop in front to put Sidney on top 2-0. That ball just rolled in front perfectly. She was able to track it down and make the goalkeeper come up in front and just kick it past her. That's one of those odd things you've got to always be on the watch out for if you're in goal, is how far do you come out, how far do you take that chance. As you take a look at the winners meets replay, watch where this ball drops in front of her. Just perfectly the one cross and a kick left in front of the goalkeeper who made a decision in Columbia, but not able to get to it. So Sidney up on top now, 2-0. And this is a team that when they get to that point, they generally do not relent. The numbers for them last year, 74-16 in terms of goals scored versus goals given up. A lot of that with Carly Dean, who made 137 stops a year ago. Now the throw from just inside the corner. As that ball wafted back up top. Armani Dortch not able to put it anywhere where anybody could get back to it. That is what the keys of the game were about controlling lanes. But I made the comment for Wayne, but Sidney has done just as good of a job getting in front of the defense. As this is, if this gets to the box, and it'll roll away in front. It's the first time in, I would say, probably 10 or 12 minutes that Wayne has been able to get to that point against the Sidney defense. They had one opportunity earlier with the same young lady with the ball in her boot right now in Armani Dortch, but she ended up getting called for offsides. Well, off the referee. Watch out. It's not like the video games where he's translucent and you can't kick it off of him. Nice header out in front for McMillan. Kaya now giving chase, and a good piece of defense for Hunter Hawk, who is back out there. She walked off a little bit ago, favoring one of her legs, but able to come right back up and be a part of it. So now Allie Hess shoots one down in front of Morgan McElroy. And it'll just be a quick play out. Two corner kicks into this contest. Both went in Sidney's column. And a couple of substitutions on the Wayne side. That one will send out Chastity Lyons. As you take a look at the subs, it's 2-0 Sidney.
NKT.TV/Eldora.
Layla Hess and Bree Lewis into the game, a pair of seniors. The forward and the midfielder trying to change up the way this is going. The field is in remarkable condition. Again, we consider the fact that it poured here for close to an hour. A couple of hours ago, about the 5 o'clock hour as we sit while this is going on. We started at 7 o'clock. They stopped the JV. They ended up right before warm-ups as they were getting started. It started pouring here during the 5 o'clock hour, and they pulled it off. They played one half of JV. I said earlier it ended in a 0-0 tie. But the field looks remarkable. It must take water very well. My first time here, and it is a beautiful pitch as Sidney has been on the attack for the better part of the first 30 minutes. And Weisenmeyer with a ball kicked right off the goalkeeper. And I'm interested to see which way this one goes. Should be a corner. I believe that's the save. Wayne's got 5 now, but Sidney with a lot of shots on goal. A couple of substitutions for Sidney. Emma Whitford and Michaela Dillinger, 5'3" sophomore, back into the game. Corner kick 3 for Sidney. Wayne doesn't have one yet. It'll be McMillan who's taken the other 2. Second time from that corner. Got a lot more loft this time around than the last, and the ball off the shoulder is Wayne kicking it right back out towards midfield. Katie Atwood, now the bright yellow shoe bottom, sends it out to Weisenmeyer. Went for the crossover, got caught up as she footed one back off the front half of the box. Waiting back out there is Dortch, the midfielder. She's done a nice job of controlling the pace of the ball when it's come out to her. This ball headed away down into the corner, and it'll stop right in front of the line. Just enough where you've got to make a decision about if you're Sidney, if you're going to play that. They'll end up with the ball as Michaela Hurry kicks it off of a Wayne Warrior. Sidney won last year's meeting 5-2 at Wayne to open up the 2017 season. Wayne took the first 6 meetings in this series from 2005 to 2011. And it has been Sidney so far, goals coming about 20 minutes apart. The first on a Weisenmayer assist, the other on a Megan Heckler goal. Back to the right side. Wayne has done, it's gone for a couple of minutes at a time where they're able to get clearances to keep away from Sidney, but it almost seems like Sidney is just outrunning them right now, as they seem to find a black jersey right at every ball. Quick crossover for Armani Dortch. One of the high returning scores and a slow play down on the ball. That's a nice charge for Michaela Hurry. You look at her, and I said one of the keys in this game was that you don't want to be passive if you're Wayne. Go at her, the sophomore, in her first varsity start, I believe. Played as the JV goalkeeper a year ago behind Carly Dean, a first-team American League selection, who pitched 8 shutouts. It was a 2-year starter. Off to the short side, Weisenmayer went to back heel one. It rolls through, and on that windup, Michaela Dillinger not quick enough to jam one through. On the run, the ball just kind of thudded right out of the foot. Whifford had a defender get onto it. And Sidney now back on the defensive end as they chase their midfielders back towards the ball. Under 10 minutes now to go in half number 1. Lights are on, just in front of the football field. It's kind of that, just a couple of spots of dreary overcast behind where the pitch is located. Sidney with another long throw-in. If I had to guess, they've controlled the throw-ins by about a 4-1 margin. That was another quick stop. We'll give the Yellow Jackets the exact same thing. Kaya Vondenheuvel, the 5'9" junior, wants to put it in play. She's had a couple of throw-ins from nearly the exact same spot, a couple of feet away from the opponent's bench. Everybody just sort of stops and waiting. Weisenmayer hasn't gotten going yet. But other than that assist on that perfect lead, you get the feeling that she's got one quick breakaway coming up. It's just that type of player. As the ball stopped off Megan Heckler. Heckler stopped herself. The cleat game is on point right now. Bright teal cleats. As it goes back to Wayne. Just that high stride, Morgan McElroy trying to make something happen as she rushes against Katie Atwood. Atwood will force her into the corner. She's got the kind of leg and get right back out of there, but it's about the placing as you see the umbrella of black jerseys right in front. And if you misplay the ball, that's what happened to Armani Dortch, that there's not a lot of room for you to come right back. This ball just kicked out for Wayne. Nice left-footed boot for Hurry. Up off the header. Sidney goes that quickly. Put it in front of Weisenmayer. And there's the big difference. You see that triangle, the 4-player triangle right there, as the officials are going to signal for offside. So Sidney now called a couple of times for that. I had that one right in front, probably cost him at least a shot at a goal about 12 minutes ago. As you pan across the screen, you see right there in the top and the middle, you can see the football team practicing in the background. It's probably a perfect night for them as they finish up at just above 70 degrees with how it's been lately. They would like for there not to be the rain or thunderstorms in the forecast like they had 2 years ago at St. Mary's when they start on Friday. Ball kicked into the bench as Lauren Barker has to get out of the way. 2 years ago, one of the craziest games I've seen St. Mary's and Sidney play. The game had 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and it got stopped at about 10:30. It ended at midnight. They would love for that not to happen this Friday to kick off high school football. Sidney's got a lot of big games coming up on the pitch. Look at Coach Kevin Verano. I said he's in his third year. He's a fascinating read. If you just look at all the things out there about him, as a shot into the goal, right through the hands. A corner kick coming up for the first Wayne shot on goal in front of Michaela Hurry. It looks like it is going to be Armani Dorch who will go down to the corner to put it in play. When you look at the 9 games that are on the schedule this year against Wayne, at Xenia, Fairborn, and Miamisburg will come here. At Tippecanoe, Fairmont, Piqua, Stebbins, and Troy. And a battle on this place is the first corner. Doesn't amount to anything. Actually, Sidney uses it for their own offense. Long lead down for Weisenmeyer, off to the right side with a one-on-one. Long run for her, up in front of the box. She's going to try to take it herself, tried to kind of just punch one through on that shot that rolls out. And it'll be a goal kick. That's another, just try to pin the goalkeeper against the post. As the substitutions for the Yellow Jackets in Lauren Barker. And out comes Bailey Sherman. It's been an aggressive Sidney team thus far here in the first half. It's a big point of what you're kind of going to probably see for them. Kevin Verano actually was a coach at Findlay High School, up 75, where he won 4 district and 9 league titles. He's been coaching soccer since '92, part of the Maumee Soccer Club just outside of Toledo. Graduated from Toledo in '95, that's where he's from. Coached in Florida, coached in Texas. Wherever he goes, he's put together a lot of wins, and he looks to do that here for this team that went to the districts last year and finishes a runner-up to Loveland. Shot across and into the belly of Hurry. So she makes her second save. Can't really call her a southpaw, but the left foot puts it in business. And here comes her team again. Just that quick. They are out and on the run. Here comes McMillan. Bright orange shoes and kicks it across for the goal. So a 3-0 lead. All on my own is how I'll do it. Sidney up on top. It's not even halftime as we go to the winners meets replay. Quality meets for 90 years. As you get a look at that one, just that quick. Get through a couple of players, get one to go each way, and stick one in the back half of the net for a 3-0 advantage. It was about controlling passing lanes, keeping the ball away. See Weisenmeyer, look, she's got 4 white jerseys within about 5 feet of her. As the ball, how do you keep it away from her? Kick it across the touchline. That's one way to do it. Kylie Killingsworth saw the idea there. This time they're nice enough to throw it to Kaya Vondenheuvel. So now she will set up and throw one in the front half of the box. Tries to get things going. It ping-pongs back and forth off a couple of heads. And Bree Lewis kicks it towards the corner. Curious to see, I think it's going to be a throw-in. It just took an interesting enough bounce where it hit the track down there and made it look like it could have almost been a corner kick. So just a couple of feet inside the flag, which is a pretty high wind. It was about 8 miles an hour when we started. Weisenmeyer is down, and she felt maybe she got shoved a little bit. So another shot that is going to be stopped for Wayne. Up off the high boot comes Macy Ivy, the 5'5" senior captain. You can notice anytime on the pitch there, the bright green captain's bands across both Ivy and Elaine Weisenmeyer. Part of a lot of wins here, and they would like to be a part of a lot more before their time at Sidney High School comes to an end. I love the bright green gear for Michaela Hurry. It's not been tested a lot. It's been in groups when the defense has had to stand down and ask her to pick them up. She's done a terrific job. Again, I just marvel at really her first varsity start this year, obviously in game one, but as a sophomore, coming off the JV team a year ago as a freshman, stepping into this role. And that was one thing that Coach Verano talked about is here comes Weisenmeyer with a crossover and the shot. She tried to 5-hole Kalubi, but Bailey not fooled. City with 10 shots now and nearly as many on goal. They have been effective in pinpointing it. Coach said offensively we shouldn't skip a beat. Hopefully we score more goals than last year and have even greater success as the clock now under a minute in the first half. And the question about, as you look at Michaela Hurry, she's been aggressive. She's been smart and aggressive, though. She's chosen her spots. But the question about how's that going to go for the rest of the season should really help her as time goes on. Kind of stand back and trust your defense to get ready to set the ball in play. Seems to be a question about who's taking this. The official is walking this way.
He said to start it again.
That can only mean one thing.
In for the Jackets, number 24, Bailey Sherman.
Bailey Sherman into the game.
Make up your mind.
Macy Ivy, one of the captains I talked about. She's a first-team American League pick.
35? 45.
I'll put 20 seconds back up on the clock. After much discussion and some number placement of the fingers. As you see the three-woman wall up in the front, trying to knock this ball down or at least get a chance at it. The ball knocked away. And the switch at goal as well for Sidney as we're down to 30 seconds now for the second time. They'll have to go get the ball and put it back in on the throw-in, middle half of the box, and punted right back up in the air. That didn't take very long for Macy Ivy. Down to the final 10 seconds now as though counted off, and Emma Whifford maybe got just nailed for that shove. Aggressive defense here for Sidney, and the first half comes to an end with Sidney on top by a 3-0 margin here at home, trying to win their opener. We'll have more from the Sidney Sports Complex when we come back here on NKTelco.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique. in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwiedemann Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Take your game day party to the next level with a new TV and Sonos sound system from Fowler's TV in St. Mary's. A Sonos sound system takes all the action into every room of your home and outdoors. Break your home into zones and control the content and level right from your phone or tablet, enabling you to enjoy the game, or not, with the touch of a finger. Add a security camera system connected to your TV from Fowler's, and never leave another friend stuck outside in the cold. Fowler's TV, taking game day to the next level.
Start of half number 2. As you see Sidney getting ready to kick off, they lead 3-0 on goals by Michaela Dillinger, Kaya McMillan, and Kaya McMillan again as she's trying to make a run for our NKTelco player of the game. Don't forget you can watch these games on WOSN on demand and on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page, and also at nktelco.net. This game will run a couple of times, and if you're from Sidney, you're probably pretty happy about it right now. Every statistical category they lead in. They outshot Wayne 10-6 in the first half, unofficially. These are my current stats. A couple of saves for Sidney, but it was the shots on goal at 8-2 in favor of Sidney. They had a couple of breaks where they put together a string of shots and were able to punch in, obviously, the 3. Elaine Weisemeyer's got an assist. Sorry, Megan Heckler had one of those goals. Kai McMillan's got the assist on the second goal. But still a goal and an assist for her so far as Wayne tries to figure things out. They shoot to the end that was very good towards the south to Sidney now. As the nightfall is beginning to commence pretty heavily. Lights are on bright and it is a beautiful night. It turned into a beautiful night. Didn't start out that way. Hopefully it'll stay that way the rest of this contest as players jockey for position early on. And you go back to the keys to the game that I talked about in the open with Keyhole Pizza, that you want to be aggressive in the first 5 minutes in the ball game and in each half. If you are Sidney, they'll take a couple of more chances offensively to try to put themselves in a position defensively to get back quickly and not allow Wayne to do anything. Wayne now kicking into a little bit of a wind, just 3 or 4 miles an hour, but it held the ball up a couple of times on what Sidney wanted to do in the first half. It's not phasing them right now as they get it in their favor. Emma Wilford with the kick away, and the ball just rolls harmlessly into the box. So each team trying to improve themselves as Wayne 0-1 on the year off a 3-2 loss on Saturday, just a couple of days ago against Milton Union. Sidney, who's expected to be among the class of the Greater Western Ohio Conference before they head off into the sunset of that conference. There was a rainbow here earlier on, just to prove how nice it's gotten a little bit ago during the halftime break. As Wayne can choose to be aggressive at times, but it is Sidney who brings back now their goalkeeper in Michaela Hurry, who left right before the half, and that is probably an exchange that's going to get you nailed 10 times out of 10. Lauren Barker with, if it was a hockey game, they'd probably call that high sticking. Just got tangled up and was able to utilize the left foot now on the long shot for Sidney of Kai McMillan. But that was a kind of an awkward play. I really honestly thought that was going to go the other way. But I think that's a little bit of, from the three officials in this game, of they always say the second person is the one that gets caught. So now the goal kick, the third for Sidney. Wayne's got 3 as well. So at least from that standpoint, we're even. Throws have been in a huge margin in favor of Sidney. It was now the first opportunity down in front of their own sideline. Ball skipped across and up off the head of Macy Ivy. Ivy, that's a long header all the way across, and the one-on-one drop, trying to stay ahead of it, is McMillan. Hustling down in front of the box. She's going to go one-on-one in front of the goal, and a shot up and in at 36-29. She's got 2 straight. And it's a 4-0 lead for Sidney. A beautiful breakaway, really set up by Macy Ivy on the opposite side with that header. As we look at how that play develops, just 3 quick sides. And McMillan able to stick one for her 3rd point in this game. 2 goals and an assist for her right now, and it's 4-0 in favor of Sidney. So 2 goals away from queuing the all-time running clock, which there's not that many stoppages anyways. But a 4-0 lead, an impressive opening half plus about 4 minutes for Sidney here in their opener on the year. Ball shot up off Lauren Barker's bright gold cleats. Sidney waits for the ball to be put back in the stratosphere. Koulibaly able to do that, and it stayed that way up near the middle. Trying to get out of the way is Abrianna Shea. Shea had it for a second. She had to look back, realize she didn't want it to hit her in the shoulder or take the chance maybe of getting out of the way of a handball. Now back to Michaela Hurry and just kind of rolled weakly to her. She's the one player from where I sit up in this press box that you cannot lose on the field because of not only just being the goalkeeper, but she is dressed very brightly here today. And she has been, she's done well. Again, just a sophomore in one of her first varsity starts, I believe her first actual. She was the JV keeper a year ago. But with losing a player like Carly Dean, well, if you read the Sidney Daily News, they talked about maybe she would stay here for her senior year, but scholarship offered IMG Academy is probably a hard thing to turn down for your senior year. Not only the bright sunshine of the state of Florida, but also IMG Academy, if you don't know, is they're very good. Sidney will lose Andre Gordon, their dynamic 2-sport athlete, to Huntington Prep. So it's kind of a setup now as McMillan chases it out, and she is called offsides. 3rd time Sidney's been nailed for that. But IMG Academy rooting heavily here in Sidney, and a lot of it probably the fact that Gordon was noticed and got Carly Dean. 137 saves and 8 shutouts noticed last year. About the only thing that Sidney has not been able to do here is a ping-pong the ball across and almost get to the player I was leading to in Weisenmayer. She missed the header. Now she'll leak down the backside. Tara Martin's 2003 record of 68 goals in heavy jeopardy. As now on the run comes Jada McMillan. McMillan cut off and bumped down to the corner. She has been a spark plug at times when she's been in there as well. She fights with Emily Clare. And a throw in just inside of the corner. After the substitution for Sidney in at Bailey Sherman, the senior midfielder. One of the tallest players on this team, Michaela Hurry being the other at 5'9". Emma Whifford as well. So that's not a big team, but you don't need that in soccer necessarily if you can be fleet of foot. Right now with a 4-0 lead, Sydney's got to feel pretty good about themselves. There's a ball across the goal line. It'll be now McMillan who will take the goal kick, or the corner kick rather. That'll be the 4th for Sidney. So Kyle McMillan will put it in play. Lofts one back up towards the front of the goal. Tried to get that quick lead. Playing a 1-on-1 game with Jada McMillan. So it's kicked right back out, and Kyle set it up and do it again. 5th corner for Sidney now.
On the corner for the Yellow Jackets, number 26, Kaya McMillan.
So Kaya waits and approaches. This one, again, a high line drive, booted right back out of the front of the box. It's a Wayne ball that they loft out towards the midfield stripe. Planes flying overhead and what is trying to become the nice blue skies. Say mostly cloudy. That's back the opposite way we come for kind of the first time really this far down in this half. The long shot up and over the goal from Armani Dortch. So the first Wayne shot on goal of the half and their first shot. That would be a field goal from about 24 yards. It'd be good next door. Doesn't count for anything here. As this is one of those questionable things. Now they'll put it in play. Nice long direct shot from Hurry, the goalkeeper. I really do think she's going to have a tremendous year. Because she is shown to play a lot older with this group right now. As the ball out of bounds, another throw in as McMillan will put it in play. Trying to get it to Weisenmayer, trying to find something to work with here. And the physical play continues on both sides. Both teams will be in action again next week. It'll be Monday for Sidney as they'll go to Xenia. It'll be Troy in a couple of days at Troy, and then at Middletown on Saturday for Wayne and Coach Hemphill. As a free kick up off the front half of the box, just sort of off the ground. Emma Whifford, and a foul in the front half. Will give Pinsonshaw and her team an opportunity to set it down and take it back. Ten minutes already gone here in half number 2. Again, the lights are on bright. Another ball that is just picked up off the hop for Hurry. This ball that rolls harmlessly back down the pitch. And Allie Hess will throw in for Wayne. There's a discrepancy in terms of number of subs because Sidney comes in just using a pair. Wayne's got, it looks like about 5 or 6 young ladies dressed down there on the other side. As they have been frequent substituters. On the crossover, just a little push. That's one of those things I would do. If a player gets past you, just push them out of the way and hope that they lose the ball right back to you. Sometimes it works. Long kick and Hurry. She changed her thought on where that flight path was going to be a couple of times to make her third save. Just waited back in center field to make that play. But it was one that was up in the air long enough as there's a fight for the ball. I'm always curious to see which way these are going to go. Olivia Whitman got up with Kai McMillan. And did they just give McMillan got a yellow? That is the first yellow card of the game. Comes at 28:52. So now what she wanted to kind of punctuate the kind of day that she's had so far. She scored with 36:29 to go in this second half to make it a 4-0 lead. It was her score with 3:54 in the opening half that gave her team a 3-0 lead. She also has assisted on a goal. Megan Heckler at the 16:52 mark of the first half made it a 2-0 Sydney lead. Michaela Dillinger had the opener just 4.5 minutes in. So now the sub on the other side for Wayne and Bree Lewis. That is McMillan last year. Like I said, 51 points. Tied for third in the G-Walk, which, if you just look up at it, Weisenmeyer with 95 points on her own team. A reason why they outscored opponents being Sydney, 74-16. Couple of losses, though. Kaylee Smith, 17 goals, was a special mention pick. Kind of last year at 14-3-2 during the regular year. 8-1-1 in the G-Walk North of the American, where they rebranded a couple of years ago. But you wondered how that would affect this Sydney team coming in. Coach said, nope, we just want to play fast, and hopefully we can score more goals than last year. Right now he is down in the bottom half of the picture instructing his troops on where to go. They have acquiesced to his demands, rather rudely on the Wayne side. Now, no clearance off to the back of the box. See if, I thought Barker was going to try to take that herself. A ball that rolls around, and the Wayne players holding their hands out as if they believe maybe something else should have gone on there. 3 shots in the half for each side. Shots on goal heavily tilted in the favor, though, of Sydney. So by my count, it's 10-4. First National Bank scoreboard here in Sydney, home of the Yellow Jackets. It's been in their favor since early on, as they'll make a couple of subs coming up. One of the captains in Macy Ivy, whose header led to the last goal. Well, right on the line. Lydia Pinson-Shum able to stick it back for her team. Another long lead down across. This one, Aubriana Shea, there was nowhere for her to go. She was pinned in on the sideline, and she took a pretty big shoulder from Kaya Vondenheuvel, who's, I guess, big thing she's done so far in this game is she's thrown it in a lot. But an aggressive play there, and there have been stoppages for, or I should say things that have been let go for more. Stoppages for less is now with 26 minutes to go. Wayne trying to figure something out. Great shot for them here, and running up through the box to make the save is Hurry. Dortch with a heck of a long shot. She just put a boot into it from that stoppage. Is now Michaela Dillinger, who got the scoring started, sends one over to the right side. Everybody giving chase, but Weisenmeyer, if you're looking for a bright spot for Wayne right now, she's got just that set up for the assist on the first goal. Outside of that, every time that Wayne has seen her touch the ball, it has either been a quick kick away or they've put a couple of defenders to stop her run. Outside of that, though, it's a 4-0 lead. Ball kicked back. It's always curious to see who the trailer is. That's sent back across, and you know you put a good shot into it when you end up on the ground. Armani Dortch with another shot. Wayne has been the aggressor here in this second half in terms of shots. They put 5 already on the right half. So I imagine eventually we get those 2 subs I was talking about earlier on. And if you're Wayne, though, you're happy that both McMillan and Ivy are continuing to stand near the midcourt or the mid stripe line and just kind of stand there. The ball kicked across the touchline will be a Yellow Jackets throw in, as those 2 young ladies finally are able to get in on the substitutions. A long throw just kind of lobbed back up off the head. Who else? McMillan. She just checked in. It's not really a surprise. It was a ball that was redirected. Hess might have had a split second to try to look at that one. And it headed up the wrong way. Will roll back to the left, and it'll be one Wayne player who will give chase. Weissenbear with a I was going to say a shove, but I'm always curious when they spot these and try to argue about what happened. It looked like, from my vantage point, that she got a pretty good forearm up for Wayne to get to shove the young lady in Hunter Hawk in front of her. Sometimes those things happen, I guess. You're an aggressive player like that, and she heads one back the opposite way, being Weisenmeyer. Ball kicked out near the touchline, and a throw in upcoming. Wasting no time is McMillan. That ball is swatted. And a corner kick for the fifth, now sixth time coming up for Sidney. Kai McMillan, the 5'3" sophomore forward. If you needed to replace some scoring punch for the loss of Kaylee Smith from a year ago, she has been that so far. A long run with the bright orange cleats. That's where I can always tell she's at, and the header up across. This is across the back line. So Sidney now trying to even up the shots in this half. They were 8-2 shots on goal in the first half. There's another goal kick now coming up for Wayne. That'll be 4 for them. It's actually their first of the second half, though. The ball wafted right back up in the air. Again, there's not a lot of wind here in the field right now, but it is just enough that at the ball hold up. And a save. Those are probably the easy ones for Michaela Hurry. They're able to just fall down on top of it. Pinsenshaw able to get a foot on it. Down near the final 20 minutes of this ball game. It's not an easy thing for Sidney. You get Wayne and Zini right out of the box. A couple of pretty much traditional rivals as the ball up on the top of the fingers for that save. And that is one that the Wayne goalkeeper has to be very, very sure that she's going to be able to get to. Because if that ball takes a bounce, that was up over her head, and it's a 5-0 game. Down near the dark corner is Katie Atwood. Atwood lost it and then threw a heck of a forearm to come up with that ball. Ball kicked off, redirected. It's just a pinball off of everybody. The good news is that on both sides right now, the officials are letting the girls play. The ball down into the Sidney bench, rolls across the touchline. Throw-in comes the opposite way. It's both teams trying to make a substitution. It is Wayne who's going to change out their goalkeepers down on the far end of the field.
Speedway. Enter for your chance to win 2 sweet tickets with pit passes for Friday night. NKT.TV/Eldora.
So Alexis Walborn will be the goalkeeper now for Wayne. As that change will come right at the 20-minute mark. Probably a good thing. Get her some work and figure out exactly how you slow down this fast offense for Sidney. They have picked up 4 goals. Kai McMillan has been a part of 3 out of 4. She scored the last 2 and also assisted on 1 for Sidney. She's also the only yellow card recipient in this ball game. As the give and go comes back to Megan Heckler. She had the first goal or she had the second goal of the game, rather. And on the fight out to McMillan, ball kicked away from her. And it'll stay with Sidney. Long throw up off the side. Sidney's essentially doing two things right now. Picking up about 10 feet at a time and taking about 30 seconds at a time off the clock with each one of these throw-ins. It's back to do it as Vondenheuvel. She's not going to waste anything, though. She's got a nice overhand throw with the two as Weisenmeyer sends one back off to the right side and across the goal line. Goal kick 5 coming up for Wayne. 5 shots now in the half for Sidney. The first that has come while Alexis Walburn is the goalkeeper. It's Coach Brad Hemphill and his team coming off of a 5-12 year in which they went 2-6 in the GWalk National East last year. Lost their leading scorer. Lost 3 all-league picks in Ashley Rubel, Randa Richards, and Kylie Tilton. Coming off a 3-2 loss, and it looks like that unless things change drastically in the next 18 minutes, they're going to start their year at 0-2 before they get 1 day of practice. As now they will go to Troy. Ball in the cross, and just off the crossbar on the left side, the post right in between Heckler's second goal and just an opportunity. So another Sidney shot. And another Sidney shot on goal. The long boot back up onto the boot of Jada McMillan. Katie Atwood, the sophomore, in front of the Wayne bench. We'll wait for the substitution that brings back in Lauren Barker, the sophomore midfielder. So there's not a lot of young ladies, just 2 subs all on this varsity team. But when they aren't big in numbers, they obviously are big with players that are able to play for a long time and play effectively, because they have done that so far here in their season opener. Good crowd of folks that have made their way here to the pitch as well. A lot of people came in after it rained. It's probably smart on their end. Ball down into the dark corner. Another corner kick coming up for McMillan. So this now is 7 corner kicks for Sidney. Down into the dark corner. Just a one spot where the lights don't hit on each side. As McMillan puts a boot into it, up off the right foot. And the redirect from Jada McMillan. Alexis Walburn now with her first save. So that is the 5th shot on goal. Both teams have 5 in this half. But Walburn able to corral one. Long run here for Wayne. For Lydia Pinsenshaw. The junior midfielder turns and sends one on a line into the belly of Hurry. So Michaela Hurry now with 5 saves in this half. Another ball kicked across the touchline as substitutions come in on both sides. Bailey Sherman back in for the home team. A couple of subs on the other side for Wayne. I said earlier on that Sidney does not have a lot of subs, but they use them frequently. Kaya Vondenheuvel is standing just to the left side of the picture there, and she is getting quite a dissertation from her head coach. Coached in San Antonio, did Coach Verano, where he went 67, 8, and 10 in 2 years with an elite soccer club down there. Took Osceola High School in Florida to the regionals. And he is looking for his team. Like I said, his big quote this year in the local newspaper was about not missing a beat offensively. And coming out here in the first 55 minutes of this game, they have not done that. Came out and put up a goal less than 5 minutes in. Spoke with him earlier. Said he wanted to be aggressive early. Sometimes in life you make a mistake, but I believe our offense is smart enough to carry us through that and to take a couple of chances. They did that and really kind of pulled Wayne out of what they wanted to do. They wanted to slow down and control the passing lanes, not let the duo of Weisenmeyer and McMillan get going. They really haven't found each other all that many times, but they've been able to find a handful of teammates, especially McMillan. As again, part of the 3 out of the 4 goals on the First National Bank scoreboard. Svanenhoef will now back up off the bench and walks away to get some hydration. Still not done. Whatever the conversation is going on about that. She's got quite a few words from her head coach as the ball stays on the Wayne defensive third. Sydney will throw it in. As you see, it's like I mentioned earlier on. Look how far she had to go to get that ball. Nobody was able to help her out and just send it back over there. Now a low line drive. Weisenmeyer kicks it across the goal line. Wayne now 6 goal kicks to 3. As they have had 3 in each half. It's kind of been a lot of the same thing where the aggressive play for Sidney has forced the change on that. And the switch out of the goalkeepers, Alexis Walborn now back there. You see her standing to the left of the young lady kicking it off. The ball redirected off 3 or 4 different boots. Over to McMillan. Jada, who spells her name a little different than I would have written it down. J-A-D-A-H. Oh, and ultimately ends up off of her as they come up on 10 minutes remaining here in this ball game. City's kind of in that we don't need to put up another score here. They would like to, but they can choose, right as I say it, offsides, and that was Weisenmeyer who stuck one in the back of the goal. So now the 4th time City has gotten called for offside, but it's the first that is directly, as you saw the ball in the air, taking a goal off the scoreboard, or kept one off the board, as it were. City fighting for possession of that ball. A lot of big kicks coming up here is down into the corner. The ball fed back across off the boot of McMillan. And if that one was able to stop, that is probably Megan Heckler's 2nd goal. As it was, it took one extra bounce. And she wasn't able to put a foot on it. Is this the one time that we see Sidney this year? Got a lot of other girls' games going on through the course of the season. Lehman and Botkins later on this fall. Coldwater and Anna in girls' soccer action. That should be a good one. 2 teams expected to do some things this year. A handful of our games. We've got more action here at Sidney just across the way. Coming up next week as Bellefontaine and Sidney will tangle in week 2 of high school football. Kind of something a little bit different. Bellefontaine scrimmages St. Mary's last week. Sidney opens with St. Mary's this week before they play each other. Bellefontaine picked to be the non-conference opponent for Sidney going forward as they exit the G-Walk. Under 10 minutes now. Sidney not stopping on the aggressiveness. Wayne trying to play it through. They've had a couple of big opportunities, as here's one on a 3-on-4. Just Sidney able to close that quickly from the midfield into their own box. Ball scooted one across towards the goal line. And the goal kick for Sidney, their first in about 20 minutes, coming up now. As it'll be the lone young lady tasked with goalkeeper on the roster in Michaela Hurry, the 5'9" sophomore, who just sends one over to the left side. Vondenheuvel, who works quickly back in there after getting, again, a long dissertation, a long conversation between she and her coach about possibly what to do when she got back in. She had the one foul where she ran over one of the Wayne Warriors. After that, came out for a couple of minutes. Throw up high, and it'll bounce. Tried that little toe step for Kyle Wendell. She tried to drop one right back the other opposite way. Now she sends it out kind of in no man's land and waits for it. That's always one of my favorite things, is to watch the defender who turns into the offensive player sitting toy with the player in front of him about, hey, try and come and get this. And then just kick it away from him. Priscilla Neves now back into the ball game. She started for Wayne. Has been up there in the midfield a couple of times and has been able to stop a couple of Sidney advances. Long kick ahead. McMillan rather gives chase. So Kai McMillan, not Kai Wendell. That would be a totally different sport and a totally different school. Back out, and she has been aggressive along with Jada McMillan right on top of that ball. And she fought just enough to earn her team the throw in. It'll come from Bailey Sherman. Sherman will run up and throw one across the line. Up off the high hand. Everybody trying to make sure, as hard as some of these balls are being kicked, they don't get their hands up. And this one will bend down near the corner. So essentially what works out as a wasted opportunity for Sidney. They lead 4-0 as Katie Atwood looking for somebody to give that bright green towel to. She found Jada McMillan. Substitution on the opposite side brings back in Layla Hess. So Hess now standing at midfield waiting to see if her team can keep away the ball for at least a couple of minutes. Just about 6 remaining here in the second half. Throw up towards the box. Weisenmeyer is not going to give up on trying to pick that goal up. She was set up down there, kind of entrenched on that throw in from Vondenheuvel. Beautiful move across in the long lead for Aubriana Shea. She now just not able to continue to dribble through the defense. Sends one up and quickly puts a stop to it. Wayne has been aggressive here in the second half. They've outshot themselves in rather you look at the first half with just 2 shots on goal. They picked up 7 here as the ball rolls in for the save for Hurry. But Wayne has been 10 shots in the second half. They picked up 6. Like I said, the shots on goal. As now the ball goes through. Weisenmeyer up on the run. She's trying to do it herself from the left side. Crossover down to the corner with the left foot and sticks one in behind the defender and the goalkeeper to make it a 5-0 Sidney lead. Now 5 away from the school's record. As you take a look at the replay, again brought to you by Winners Meats, quality meats for over 90 years. Watch how the defense tries to close here, and she's smart enough, the senior, to realize she's not going to be able to go straight on, just hooks one in with the left foot for the goal. A nice piece of work for her to put Sidney on top 5-0. 3 goals in the first, 2 goals here in the second half for that advantage. She was one player, as I was reading about this game, I was excited to see, not just based on numbers, but from a lot of people, on Twitter who have talked about just how well she plays and how smooth her game is. She and Kai McMillan just set the G-Walk on fire last year with 140 some combined, almost 150 combined points. The first and the third leading scorer in the league. As the ball knocked across the touchline, another throw in. Not until they have to go back and figure out where the ball is. Again, that's always my favorite part. So with 4 minutes to go, you can take the time off the clock if you're Atwood. Everybody just kind of standing in play, waiting for the quick drop. Ball rolls perfectly down the line before it is set up on the long run for McMillan. Now a little shove on her crossover, front half of the box, lifts one across, and it is knocked down by Walburn. Walburn has made 2 of 3 saves since she came into this game about 15 minutes ago. And down on the right side. Shea leading the pack. Brianna Waiting trying to get rid of Macy Ivy, the senior captain for Sidney. Not able to. Good little battle brewing there between those two. As a stop of the restart, down towards the back line. Up off to Shea. Lofts one back towards the goal, and it'll roll away for another goal kick. Sidney's 5th now. So Wayne turned up the aggression as McMillan comes back in. We've got 9 shots in this second half, or at least I should say 9 on goal, 9 near the goal of their 11 shots. But they've just not been able to hook one in. Up towards the box and a long roll again. Trying to put Hurry on her heels with 2.5. Ball up into the air and not probably remotely. I think Hurry might have been trying to count on the fact the wind was going to grab that one a little bit. It did not. You see the First National Bank scoreboard, just over 2 minutes left in this ball game. Quick stop on the turn into the corner. Same young lady again is a ball redirected through from Adriana Shea. City trying to get to 1-0. Drop Wayne down 2 games. Lights are off at the stadium across the way, so football's done. At least for the day. Final minute and a half now. Headed back out, and everybody's playing this final minute and a half the same way they played the opening minute and a half. Fast and furious. There's the ball down towards the line. Both teams' number 7s have a shot at it. Both in Katie Atwood for Sidney and Lydia Pinsensham for Wayne. Wayne trying to maybe look for that one little goal here, that one mistake with a minute to go for Sidney. Sidney not trying to let him have it. Weisenmeyer out ahead, and she is despondent that she was just called for offsides. 5th time Sidney's been hit for that. And again, that's the 2nd time where at least an opportunity for Weisenmeyer to get a goal would have been the case. She had one the last time, booted it in the back half of the net, and then was as she touched it as the ball was in the air, she was called for offsides. She kind of skulked her way back down to the opposite way. It was a long opportunity in the air, headed right back by the Yellow Jackets, wearing virtually no yellow today, just black and white. Down to the final 10 seconds now. Ball fought for by Sidney. They lead 5-0, and they will pull off a 5-0 win to open up the season. Wayne now drops to 0-2. in the interdivision play here in the Great Western Ohio Conference. Take a break and tell you how this game came to be here on NKTelco.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Automotive Outfitters, your truck accessory headquarters.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us!
Back a final time at the Sydney Sports Complex. A 5-0 win for the young ladies from Sydney. The Yellow Jackets pick it up with 5 goals, 3 in the first half, 2 in the second half. Michaela Dillinger off an assist in the first half, gets the scoring started from Elaine Weisenmeyer at the 35-24 mark. It's about 20 minutes until Kai McMillan gets the assist on a Megan Heckler goal to make it 2-0. McMillan then gets into the act herself to make it 3-0 Sydney. At 3:54 left in the first half, she continues. 36-29 left in the ball game. She puts one in the goal herself again to make it 4-0. Kind of an oddity. She picked up a yellow card at some point during the next 10 minutes, but then a goal from Elaine Weisenmeyer herself makes it 5-0 with 5 minutes to go, and Sydney rides out the win. They're now 1-0 on the year. Wayne at 0-2. West Carrollton is the next opponent for Sydney, and a look at our player of the game. It's Kai McMillan. You look at what she has done at 5'3", the sophomore forward, picks up a couple of goals and an assist. For that reason, she is our NKTelco player of the game for today. A big thanks to all the sponsors that help us make these games possible. As we take a look at that list, tonight's game brought to you by the Minster Bank, also by Schwieterman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture and Wilson Heath, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco and NKT.TV, Carriage Works, Cy Schwieterman and Fowler's TV, along with the folks at Kogi Heating and Kogi Plumbing and Heating, PSG Automotive Outfitters, and the First National Bank. Those folks are the helpful businesses that help us bring you high school sports, and we've had a terrific time. Sydney has had a terrific time as well here tonight, as well as you see the final score for the final time on the First National Bank scoreboard. 5-0 for Isaac and Luke on the directing and on the cameras. I'm Mike Hearn. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow from all of us here at NKTelco.